Hello everyone, my name is Cyrilda Summers McGee and I am the founder and CEO of Workplace Change, and welcome to Word on the Street. Word on the street is that we've got a new solution to solve for resume bias. That's the word on the street, and I think it's not true. Let's get to it. All right, gang. So, every few years or so, someone comes up with a new great idea on how to solve resume biases, right? Delete the names from the resume. That's how you're gonna delete biases from the selection process. That never worked. There's no data to suggest that more people of color, more non-binary transgender people, more LGBTQ plus people, more women were hired as a result of us removing names from resumes. Let that one go. But we've had a word on the street on that before. You're like, Cyrilda, you've said this before. Yes, I have. It still makes me angry that was the solution that somebody came up with who likely was not a historically underrepresented person. Well, now there's some new ones. Okay? The new one is that we should do skills assessments and culture fit assessments where instead of looking at the resume, we have a person do a skills assessment or culture fit assessment to determine their readiness to take on a position inside the organization. And they're saying all the way up the ranks, like a director of human resources or vice president of communications, you should do a skills assessment or a culture assessment to determine if you should go and work inside the organization. And that's their solution for stopping the perpetuation of biases in the resume review process. Do you really think that's gonna work? Here's the thing, gang. There is no magic bullet to removing biases from the selection process besides accountability. All right? All of these hocus pocus ideas don't tend to get outcomes that actually change the outcomes of people who are historically disenfranchised, disempowered, or rendered invisible inside these organizations. It's just not true. The way that you remove and reduce biases, well, not even biases, outcomes, right? The biases may live inside of you. The biases are something that I cannot police. The biases are oftentimes something I cannot even prove is happening in a process. But what I can prove are the outcomes. Who's getting the job? Who's getting the interview? Who's not getting the job? Who's not getting the interview? And one of the things we should be doing is identifying how diverse are our applicant pools at every stage of the selection process. As you matriculate people through the selection process, right? Application, paper screening for the interview or reviewing the interview to phone interview or a virtual interview to an in-person interview to job offer. How diverse is that candidate pool at every stage of that matriculation pattern? How diverse is it? Are you losing people? And then if you are losing people, are you pausing in the process and asking, why are we losing all these people? Right? Please don't tell me something like, we're just looking for the most qualified person. Hey gang, that language doesn't work. And no matter how irritated you get that I'm saying, well, we are just looking for the most qualified person. That is a dog whistle for saying that you are usually not looking for diversity in the pool, right? It's not about diversity, it's about qualifications. Well, that has been the language that's been used to disqualify very qualified, historically underrepresented people since the dawn of the application process. So stop it. All right. And please don't buy into these cliche systems that do not actually change the outcomes. Change your processes. Review if your systems for selection are actually inadvertently screening people out or intentionally screening people out, and then call people into the conversation to say, how do we stop it from happening? If it's qualifications, then your recruiters need to go out there and find that talent, because qualified talent who are historically underrepresented, we're out there. Right? So no excuses, no silver bullets, no quick fixes to interrupt these patterns that have historically disenfranchised, disempowered, or rendered invisible historically underrepresented people. Okay? That's it for this episode of Word on the Street. Thanks for tuning in. Add your comments into the bottom if you have them. And if you do have a question that you don't want to add in the comments, send us a message. We're always interested and excited to have a conversation with you. I'll see you next episode of Word on the Street.